Welcome back to Golden Rule Radio. I have to be honest, it's a little quiet in here today because it's just me and our producer. Tori's out of town this week, and Robert is actually finishing some stuff up this afternoon. So, on one of the most interesting days of the year, as the Turkish Lira, which regardless of what the news has been telling me about a rebound all day today, is frankly continuing to get kicked right in the shins. And in response to that, the US dollar continues to be the traditional safe haven as flight capital out of Europe and out of the Middle East is pushing that direction. So with that being said, we have had a monstrously bad day for almost everything except for the US dollar. And granted, the Turkish lira did turn around a tiny little bit, but the Dow's down, most of your commodities are down, precious metals are down, everything's down except for the US dollar as it inches up towards that 618 fib level at around 97.5. So like I've been saying for the last year and a half, news doesn't move markets. It simply speeds up or slows down the direction that those markets are planning on going anyway. So we've been talking about the dollar pushing up to 97.5. Lo and behold, we're above 96 thanks to the lira, thanks to Trump tariff talks, and thanks to this flight capital coming out. And with that being said, anytime you're pushing into a currency as a safe haven, everything else is coming down. So gold is probably going to push down to the 1170, 1175 support that we were looking at. The dollar is going to push up to that 97.5 mark, and I have no idea what the Dow is going to do, but I do think it's taking a little respite in the rise until we test the previous highs and, in my opinion, probably not exceed them. So my recommendation this week is do click on the link that we're going to put on the screen at the end of today's show. That's going to take you to yesterday's McAlvany weekly commentary. David and Kevin went very in-depth into the whole Turkish situation. This is something that expands out to Europe. It expands out to the Middle East. Saudi Arabia is involved. Iran's involved. The United States is involved. I know Turkey economically is much smaller than some of the other European players, but when you start bringing all the surrounding countries into play here, and then they start backing this country based on who they like and who they don't like as neighbors, Iran versus Saudi Arabia, Russia, the United States. I mean, France and Spain hold massive amounts of Turkish outstanding debt right now, and neither of those countries are in very good economic standing as is. So with all of this money coming out of Europe, coming out of the Middle East, it had to go somewhere. So it's impactful to see how the US dollar has responded as that flight capital goes, and definitely, like I suggested, click on that link to listen to a much more in-depth discussion about what's going on in Turkey and the rest of the Middle East right now. So before we wrap up today, I do want to point out that we have here been actively pursuing our clients over the last couple weeks as we've been talking about these potential ratio plays between gold and silver, gold and platinum, and some of the other precious metals. As these prices are inching down and finding their ultimate bottoms, the ratios tend to continue to further benefit the people that are looking to get into these positions. We know that the gold-silver ratio did tick back up from 75 to 80. So if you're still waiting for a good price level to get in, definitely give one of our brokers a call here at ICA. We can be reached anytime at 800-525-9556. You can head on over to Twitter at ICA Gold, Facebook, McAlvany Financial, or our website, McAlvanyICA.com. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.